Hello? All right, we made it. All right. Sorry everything's kind of crooked today. It's just the day, and that's okay. Sorry for the wait. I am taking requests for body parts. If not, I was thinking of playing a little bit with shoulders, but if that's not your jive right now, tell me what you want. Clay's over here answering messages because he takes good care of me. Happy 10 a.m. For now, I would like you to lie on your back. Knees can be bent if that's what feels good, okay? Or the legs can be straight. So lying on the back. And if your back is tender, bring your knees in together and your feet a little wide, and it'll kind of come into neutral in that pelvis, so there's a little bit of a release into the back. From there, you can either leave your hands by your sides, or if you are somebody who likes feet back, that right hand can come onto your belly if you're a female, left if you're a male, and that opposite hand can come just above it.
Somebody commented shoulders sound great.
Woohoo! Shoulders sound good, right on. So here we are. And then just start paying attention to your breath. Where is it coming from? Let your body start to relax. Get comfortable in your space. And then without changing where the breath is coming from, excuse me, start to lengthen it. Just taking longer inhales and then an equal exhale. So inhale for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue with that 5 count inhale, exhale. Feel the body start to release, jaw relaxed. If the jaw feels tight, bless you, take the tongue against the top front back teeth. So the back of the front top teeth. Stay with that 5 count for about another minute or so. One more good full breath. 5 in, 5 out. Bending your knees, placing your feet hip width apart. Open your arms so they're like a T. In that, your wrist and shoulder line up on each side of your body. Take a moment to check it out. And instead of your thumbs lifting off the ground, I want you to try to get the thumbs to press against the ground as you take your shoulders down into the earth. Then from here, lift the knees off the ground and the shins so that the knee lines up with the hip and my shins are parallel to the floor. And then from here, I'm going to lift slightly up and roll all the way over to my left side. My right arm is really reaching away from me as I keep the thumb on the ground. And if I want to, I can turn my head either to the left or to the right. For me, I get a nice stretch when I turn my head to the left. So that's where I'm going to keep it. Hang here for a little bit, fingertips on the ground or the nails. Feel the right pinky, middle finger, and thumb reach away as you try to keep that right shoulder on the ground. A little bit more. If you want a bigger stretch in your pec, keeping this right hand as it is, you can start to roll your right chest a little more towards the left. Keep the fingernails on the ground. 3 really deep breaths. So as you breathe, it's going to lengthen through this pec, which is a good part of our shoulder. Two more breaths. One more. Yep, inhale, come back to center. Readjust the legs if you need to. Palms against, top of the hands against the ground, lift up and roll over to your right. Okay. And then staying here, keep the left fingernails, thumb on the ground, and feel just kind of this twist, okay? And this twist is mostly for the pec. And it's a pretty good spinal twist too, which will help with digestion. So hang here, feeling free to either turn the head to the right, center, or left. Find out where you get a good stretch. I know when I turn my head to the right this time, I get a nice stretch on the left side of my neck. And I'm reaching through my thumb, my middle finger, and my pinky away from me. And I'm going to roll my chest a little bit more to the right. Drop my shoulder blade because it was starting to come up. So I tried to tuck it in and hang out. Hang with me, team. Breathe, breathe. Three deep inhales so you can feel that whole pec expand, and then feel free to go a little deeper on an exhale into this twist. One more good one. Inhale back to center. Grab your knees to you and then roll yourself up into a seated posture. From here, find yourself at the front of your mat. Okay. We're going to reach our arms out in front of us and come into a tabletop. From your tabletop, you're going to take your heels onto your bum, or your bum onto your heels, backwards. If you need a little support, you can put a blanket under here, a bolster, towels, but something so this doesn't hurt you if it is hard to come into this child's pose. My knees and heels are together. Feel free to keep your big toes and legs apart if that feels better for you. So we're coming into this traditional child's pose. However, my arms are reaching forward. And I'm going to look at my pinkies, right? And I'm going to think about reaching along with my pinky and feel this whole side of my body start to lengthen. So both pinkies are reaching. And then I'm pulling my hips back and trying to drop my chest. And then as I do this, I'm noticing I want to lift up. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my biceps, spiraling them so that my bicep moves towards my ears, and I'm dropping my shoulder blade down. So I'm trying to keep my arms behaving. So 3 or 4 breaths right here. Hang out, or stay with me, please. Reach through the pinkies. Feel that whole shoulder girdle try to wrap down. So I went just like that. Couple more breaths, please. Reaching through the pinky, wrapping. Take the hip creases back. One more good breath. Inhale, lift the head and take the left hand on top of the right. Okay, so instead of letting this arm lift up, you're going to drop it down and rotate it. So you're hollowing out your armpit, and you're going to try to do the same on that left side. Dropping the head, you're going to pull the left side of the hip back. Reach through that little finger, keeping that hollowing out of the armpit. Let the head drop. We're going to stay here a little bit longer. Reach through the pinky side. Hollow out the armpit. Reach that left side back. Couple more breaths. Inhale, come back to center, right? Now my right hand is going to come on top of my left. And I'm going to focus on reaching through that right little finger as my hips reach back. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Reaching, hollowing out. So instead of letting my elbows, I'm almost trying to tuck my elbows in and squeeze my biceps past my ears. A couple more rounds, please. Inhale, lift the head. Walk your hands so they're shoulder width or wider apart. Spread the fingers wide. And then shift forward, tuck the toes under, shift back. Try to get all those toes tucked under. And then putting the weight back, reach the hips back. From here, you're going to grab onto the outside of your mat with your hands. So my thumbs are on top, knuckles underneath. I'm going to reach my hips back and pull my mat forward. So I'm really tractioning. And then when I'm doing this, I'm pulling in my ribs at the same time and dropping the shoulders. So ribs, shoulders, length. Exhale. Inhale, ribs, shoulders, length. 2 more breaths. Nice. Inhale, bend the knees. Place them on the floor, the shins on the floor, and come back to center. From here, okay, I want to play with the idea of hollowing out that armpit. So I want you to sit. Take whatever hand you want to. So I'm taking my left hand and putting it in my armpit. So my thumb is actually in my armpit. And I'm going to take my palm forward. Okay, and then I'm going to think about my bicep rotating, right, away from me. So it's almost like I'm going to open a spaghetti jar, right? So turn your wrist with you, and as you open it, you can hollow out the pit. So now I'm going to try to hollow out the pit without moving the wrist. So, and can you feel that hollow out? So another way to do this is coming into a tabletop, right? And my palm, I'm going to lift up my right arm. My palm is on the floor, and the eye of the elbow is facing neutral. And then I'm going to open the spaghetti jar. And in opening the spaghetti jar, I'm rotating my bicep out or laterally. So take my right thumb is now in my armpit socket, and I'm going to roll, open the jar, and then I'm going to bring my hips back a little bit. And I can feel that hollowing out of my armpit. I could grab my pec if I wanted to. I'm going to come on to the other side, thumb in the pit, open the spaghetti jar, come back, feel that hollowing out, grab the pit. We won't do a pit ripper, those are evil. Couple of breaths. So now both hands are going to be here in your tabletop, okay? And then wrists are underneath the shoulders, and you're going to rotate the biceps past you and then pull the shoulder blades down and then come back. Keep on opening that spaghetti jar. Feel the biceps roll past the ear, right? And hollow out the armpit. Now reach the hip creases back, hollowing out the armpit. Blades are flat on the back. 2 breaths. This is hot. I mean, I'm sweating. 1 more breath. Nice. Okay. Then from here, we're going to come into that tabletop and walk our hand half a hand length in front of us. Screw the jar in. So we've got the elbows coming forward, the eyes of the elbows, and I'm putting my shoulder blades on my back. I'm going to tuck the toes under and come into my down dog. Armpits are hollowed out, and I'm pressing into the thumb side of my palm. Reach through the pinky side, pause. Then on an inhale, lift that right leg, and exhale, right leg's going to step in a low lunge, okay? And I want you to come up into crescent or high lunge. Woohoo! Take the hands behind you, all right, and do the best you can, either grabbing the elbows or your wrists, okay? My intention isn't to pop here. I'm going to grab my elbows. Here I am in my lunge. Pull my ribs back and lift through my chest, my sternum, okay? As I grab my elbows, I'm going to pull my hands apart, or try to, broadening through the collarbone. Pull the belly in and tailbone towards the ground. You're going to pause right here. Try to get the ears over the shoulders. Couple of breaths. Feel those arms pull against. Hang out, please. We're going to do this. It's going to be good. Now, start to lift the arms away from you. So I've got my arms away. I'm trying to drop my shoulders. All right. And then I'm going to come into a 45-degree angle without letting my arms come down. Still in that crescent, but now shifting ever so slightly. Feel the blades pull together, flat on the back as best you can. Arms are pulling apart. Press into the front heel. Back leg strong. One more breath. Woo! Exhale, gently release the arms. Come to your down dog. Nice. From here, prepare the left leg as you exhale. Left leg steps in the low lunge. And then come up to your high lunge. Or crescent, whatever you want to call it. So last time I did this, my right arm was underneath. So now I'm going to switch it. Okay, so I went from here, which feels natural, to the opposite of natural. Supernatural. So from here, okay, we're coming into that crescent. I'm going to put the tailbone towards the ground, lift the pubic bone, broaden through the collarbones. And then I'm going to feel my elbows try to pull apart as my hands resist. And pause. Get comfy. Couple more breaths. Press with that front heel, feel yourself strong. Lift the forearms off the shoulders, right? Broadening through the collarbone. Straighten that right leg if it's not. And then come 45 degrees. Keep the arms up. So basically, I'm trying to keep them in the same place. Breathe. Broaden through the collarbone. Pull the ribs in. Press into the front heel. Couple more breaths. Big breaths, expanding, broadening the collarbone. Exhale, release. Inhale, step into your plank. Exhale, shifting forward, start your flow. Pause. We're going to do another funky something on the mat. Do as I say on this one, not as I do, because it's not really one of my strengths. So come up on your toes, bend the knees, and watch for a second before we do. I'm going to turn my head towards you so you can hear what I'm saying, but when we do this together, you are not. So we're going to come on the ground in cactus. So I'm making sure my elbows line up with my shoulders, and then with my hands, my elbows on the ground, I'm going to lift up my hands. But here's the caveat. When you're completely flat on the ground, this whole mobility shifts, okay? So I want you to come onto your belly. Your toenails are in strung to the floor, and so are your hips, and I want your forehead on the ground. And then from there, you're going to try to lift your arms, lift your hands and your forearms off the ground. And then press the elbows. I can barely do it, but do what you can with what you got. Relax the neck. Hold. Press the elbows, lift the forearms and the hand. Head down. Couple more breaths. One more. Nice. Hands come underneath you. Press yourself up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, this right leg prepares, and as you exhale, right leg steps in a low lunge, and then come up to your warrior two. In your warrior two, actually I lied, shift it. You're going to come to your warrior one. And once again, I want this left foot to the outside of the mat. All right? I'm going to interlace my hands. And this time, oftentimes in class, I tell you I want the palms to press together. Today, I don't care. What I am going to do is shift my left hip forward. And bending the elbows gently, I'm going to squeeze my elbows together, broaden the collarbone, and then lengthen the arms down. And then from here, I'm going to hover over my right thigh, and I'm going to lift the best I can my knuckles to the ground. And yes, my palms are separating. Press into the back foot, front heel. Belly is lifted yet over the right thigh, and breathe. Knuckles towards the sky. Don't go anywhere yet. Two more breaths. One more good breath. See if you can get a little more length. Woo! Exhale, release. Hands come down on either side of your foot. Yep. Next, exhale, down dog. From your down dog, on an inhale, left leg prepares, and as you exhale, left leg low lunge. Walk that right foot long or wider if you want, so my toes are up against the edge. Come up. Left hip shifts back. Interlace the hands, but this time do the unnatural. So last time my right thumb was on top, this time my left thumb is on top. And for now, I'm just going to interlace, squeeze the palms, ribs in, elbows reach towards each other. And then I just lost it in my back leg, so I'm firing up my back leg again. And then I'm going to reach and lengthen my arms, keeping myself square. From here, we're going to shift forward, hovering over that left knee, and the arms are going to reach up. This time, yes, indeed, my arms separate, but they're still pretty much interlaced. My palms separate, excuse me. Lifting up through the belly, breathe. Reach the knuckles towards the sky. Reach the knuckles towards the sky. So it's not so much shifting overhead as it is reaching up. Breathe. Press into the back, outside foot, front heel. Fire it up. Keep reaching up. Couple more breaths. One more breath, please. Release. Inhale to your plank. Nice. Exhale, start your flow or down dog. Whew. Pause. In your down dog. Open that jar. Hollow out the armpit. Reach through the pinkies. Keep yourself nice and hollowed. Couple more breaths. And as you hollow out, here's the cool part. You're going to press into the padding just below the big thumb of your hand. Two more breaths. Hollow, thumb pad, pinky. Hollow pad, pinky. Beautiful. On an inhale, prepare your right leg. And as you exhale, your right leg's going to reach in a low lunge. You're going to see my back for a second. And you're going to come up to your warrior two. Okay? In your warrior two, right, we're going to make sure we are nice and lined up. Heel arch, knee, ankle. And then from here, what I want to do is take this hip back. We're going to come into a side angle. But in this side angle, we're going to do a little something different. So you're going to come into your side angle, and my right arm is going to drop down, and I'm going to use this arm to rotate ever so slightly over. I'm doing that by pressing my tricep. And then I'm going to take this hip back a little bit and drop my ribs. From here, I'm going to reach this palm forward, and then oof, behind my head. I'm going to tuck my chin. Try to look forward, right? Shoulders down. And for me, I'm going to hang out here. If you can, without moving your head in line with your sternum, rotate the ribs up. Don't let this right shoulder come forward. I'm noticing as I rotate, this thing wants to slump. Don't let it. Use that thigh to keep you happy. Chin tucked. Head gently presses against the hand. Use your core. Press into the feet. If it doesn't feel good, this, that, whatever you can do, pain's not an option. 2 more breaths, please. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, your hands down on either side of your foot. Come into a down dog. I'm going to take a sip of water. Ready? Inhale. Left leg prepares. Exhale, left leg low lunge. Inhale, warrior 2. Okay, nothing pretty. Heel arch, knee ankle. Lift tall. Press into the outside of the foot on that side. Heel this side. Take the hip back. Yep, and then come forward. My left arm drops. My ribs drop, and I lengthen my hip away from my ribs. Rotate open. Hand is going to lift up, right? Then I'm going to take it behind my head. My palms spread. Pull my head back, and then adjust. So I'm not popping, I'm pulling in. Dropping the top rib and hanging out. Remember, if this hurts, not an option, don't do it. Let's see what we can do. If you are loosey, this right elbow of yours, start reaching back as you rotate your ribs. Don't let this left arm roll in. Mine keeps on wanting to. Breathe. I say 3 or 4 breaths. One more good breath, please. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, hands down on either side of your foot. Oops, step back to down dog. I lied. Inhale, come to a plank. Exhale, go through a flow. Breathe. So we're going to do one more side angle. I'm going to show you this from the back to start with, and then I'll turn around. So on an inhale, your right leg is going to prepare, and as you exhale, right leg steps in the low lunge, come up to warrior 2. So yes, I'm behind you. I'm going to take this right hand of mine, and imagine I'm putting it in a back pocket. So I'm not wrapping, it's just here. And then from here, I'm going to come into that side angle and see if I can take this elbow and wrap it around my thigh, but this arm is back. So, back pocket, side angle. I'm going to wrap this elbow, right? And then I'm going to feel the ribs drop, lengthen, rotate this arm up. Pull the ribs in. You can look up or down, do not hurt. If this doesn't suit you, this is nice too. Feel that right elbow press against the right thigh, firm in the feet as well. Don't go anywhere. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, rotate. Lengthen the inhale. Exhale, rotate. One more good breath. Okay, 2. Inhale back to warrior 2. Nice. Exhale, hands down on either side of the foot. Hit your down dog, and I'm going to show you again how we did this from the back. Inhale, left leg prepares, and as you exhale, that left leg's going to step in the low lunge. I'm going to come up to my Virabhadrasana 2, right? Knee, ankle, heel arch. Left hand is kind of coming into my back pocket if I only had one. I'm going to take my hips back as I take my spine forward. And for me, this hand moves across so that it allows me to loop that left elbow. Okay, here we go. This arm's going to reach up. Hips, rotate, reach. Present that back leg. Nice and long. Don't go anywhere. Inhale's your length. Rotate and press the elbow. 2 more breaths. Oscar, you're fine. Exhale, hands come down on either side of the foot. Inhale, plank. Exhale, start elbow. Sorry. Sorry. Breathe. My support is here. Couple more breaths.
Hey, enough.
Nice. From here, on an inhale, prepare your right foot. Exhale, right foot's going to step in the low lunge. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, 2 hands. And then reach the palms together, right? Turn the palms up. Actually, I lied. Reach the palms up, okay? From here, we're going to go to Gomukhasana arms. We did legs in the previous class. So my right elbow is on top of my left. And then my palms interlace. Okay? And I'm going to lift the elbows and reach away. So it's going to look arm-wise like that. Okay? So here I am. And then I'm going to have my hands pressed together as my elbows press apart. And breathe. Feel the shoulder blades broaden. Nice broad shoulder blades. Couple more breaths. One more. So inhale here. Exhale. Unwind. Next, exhale, hands down on either side of the foot, your down dog. Inhale, left leg prepares, and as you exhale, left leg's going to step in your low lunge, and then inhale up to your warrior 2. Palms are out. Okay, knee, ankle, heel, arch. Left elbow on top now. Palms press against each other. My elbows reach away and up, and my palms press. Then I'm going to take some nice deep breaths, almost feeling like I'm pulling my chest back away from me as my arms reach forward. So inhaling and broadening and enjoying. Keep it going. We're going to finish this a couple more breaths. One more breath, please. Inhale here. Exhale. Hands come down on either side of the foot. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, down dog, or start your flow. In your down dog, hollow out those pits. Feel those pinkies reach long. 2 breaths here, just checking in. One more breath. Nice. Staying in that down dog. On an inhale, I want you to prepare the right foot. And as you exhale, your right foot is going to come in a low lunge. And then you're going to come up to crescent lunge. Okay, and we're going to expand the back some more. So I'm starting with my palms in cactus, and I'm going to bring my palms together so they're in prayer, and then put my thumbs in the center of my nose, basically. And I'm not very good at this, but we're going to give it the old college try. Drop the shoulders and lift the chest. Hang out with it, I'm telling you. Broaden the shoulders. Woo! Breathe. Feel the ribs reach back. Lift. Drop the shoulders. Couple of breaths. If you can pull the shoulders together, more power to you. I'm not very good at it, but I'm trying. Pressing the front heel. Drop the shoulders. Lift the elbows. Exhale, release. Hands down on either side of the foot. Inhale, step to that low lunge, down dog. Exhale. Good stuff. On an inhale, left leg prepares, and as you exhale, left leg low lunge. Come into that crescent or high lunge, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Get yourself sturdy, press into that heel. Palms and elbows together as best you can. And as still letting this come up, I want you to think about dropping. Thumbs on either side of the nose, like you're hooking the eyes, the occipital ridge. And then pull the ribs in, reach up with the chest. Ribs up, reach. Drop the shoulders. Keep going. My elbows are trying to pull together, and I'm trying to stay positive here. Stay with me. One more good breath. Oh, exhale, hands down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, flow. Oh. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, way up on your knees, bend your shins and come to your child's pose, or just stay in your down dog. Breathing. Excuse me. Woo-wee. On an inhale, our right leg prepares. And as we exhale, right leg steps in the low lunge. And I want you to come back up to your warrior two. We're going to try a funky balance with Gomukhasana arms, which is what we did, not the last pose, but the previous asana. So right elbow on top, right? Interlace, pull the ribs back. And then from here, you're going to rotate onto the ball of the foot. So I'm on the ball of my back foot now, and I'm in crescent. And I'm going to hollow out and lift, and hollow and lift. Right? Pause and breathe. And then from here, I don't know if I can do this. Let's see what we can do. Come onto your right foot, and then come into a variation of warrior three. Oh, find a wall if you need it. Couple more breaths. Got it? If this isn't working for you, I'm going to come so my palms are down by my side, like that. Nice. On an exhale, come back to that crescent. Sorry, guys. Hands come down on either side of the foot. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, shift forward. Go through your flow. See that other side can do better. Y'all with me? On an inhale, left leg is going to prepare, and as you exhale, left leg steps in that low lunge. Inhale into your warrior two, which is where we started. All right? So in your warrior two, that left elbow's now on top. All right? We're going to roll over the ball of the right foot. So let's break this down. If this is where you want to stay, lifting as the shoulders drop, go for it. If you want to start to hover, go for it. If you are somebody who's really gnarly with balance, give it a try. Hang out as long as you can, meeting everybody in crescent. Oh. Don't forget, palms can be down in your warrior three. Oh. And when you're ready, laughing at yourself because I'm falling, come back to that crescent. Exhale, hands come down on either side of the foot. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, shift forward, go through your flow. Pause. Good stuff. On an inhale, bend your knees, put both shins on the ground, and come into a child's pose again. And this time, take your arms back beside you and let your elbows and shoulders release. A couple of breaths. All right, from here, we're going to come into some more stretches, which I found really challenging when I was playing with this the other day. We'll see what we can do, right? As you can tell, I'm challenging myself in public today. I had a talk with myself about feeling judged, right? And decided that it really doesn't matter what other people think, it's how I feel about myself and how I'm judging me. So I'm not judging how I'm doing this. So don't judge how you're doing this. Just have fun with it. So from here, we're going to go back to that yummy little cactus. All right, I'm taking off my glasses so I don't break them. So I've got both elbows lining up with my shoulder. Whew. I'm going to take my right arm. So my right fingernails are looking at my nose. My left arm is still in a cactus. And I am pressing the elbow down, and I'm going to try to open up by reaching this right leg behind me as best I can. And then we're going to hold. Pull the ribs in, press the elbow down. If this hurts, don't do it. Breathe. So if I pop my ribs, I don't get much out of this, but I'm going to pull the rib back. And I'm just going to breathe a little longer. Don't go anywhere yet, please, please, please stay with me. One more good breath. Shoulder blades down. Oh, excellent. Nice. Slowly get out of it. Come back to cactus. We're going to do the other side. So I'm going to have you're going to sit back of me. I'm going to have my left fingertips facing my nose. I'm going to take my left leg and do the best I can to reach over. I am pushing into my right elbow, excuse me. And for some people, you can come up like that. I can't. So I'm going to stay right here and do the best I can with what I've got. And press that elbow and breathe. I'm going to try to get the shoulder to drop down. Stay with me. Couple more breaths, guys. Hang in there. Elbow. We got it. One more good breath. Holy buckets. Get on out of that. Press yourself back into your child's pose. Arms out for a few breaths. And then look up, reach your arms out, fingertips spread, tuck the toes under, okay? And then you're going to pop your sit bones back over the heels and then inhale, come to your first down dog again. Breathe. Once again, hollow out the armpits, reach for the fingertips, that little fingertip, and then feel the hips reach back. Does your body feel different? Hopefully it feels different in a better way. On an inhale, let your right leg prepare, and as you exhale, right leg's going to step in a low lunge, and you're going to come up to that Virabhadrasana 2 on the right foot. And no, I'm not wearing glasses, so I can't see anything, which is probably good. From here, you're going to slowly press into the mound of the big toe and straighten that right leg, reaching that right arm out. Okay, we're going to come into our Trikonasana. So this hip reaches, this arm comes down, and this arm I'm going to reach up, and then I'm going to reach over, and again come into the hand behind my head, but this time it's a little bigger of a stretch, dropping that right rib. Yep. Breathe. So once again, my right shoulder wanted to come forward. I'm going to pull it back a little bit longer. Drop the top rib, lengthen through the lower rib. 2 more breaths. One more good breath. Press into the back leg. Feel that nice stretch through here too. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, hands come down on either side of the foot. Come to your down dog. Woo-wee. Pause. Inhale, hollow out those armpits if you can. Inhale, left leg prepares, and as you exhale, your left leg steps in a low lunge. Come on up to your Virabhadrasana 2. All right, press into the mound. Well, turn the back foot in. Press into the mound of the big toe and straighten that leg. Okay, reach. Long, 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 long. Press into the back foot. Long, long. As far as you can. Oh, left arm down. Reach that hip back a little bit. Nice. This one's going to reach up. I pulled my hips forward just now. I'm dropping my upper rib. I'm going to reach forward. And if I want to, whoosh, I'm going to try this. This elbow can play by moving. When I did this, my chest totally popped because I'm compensating. So I'm going to pull my ribs in and drop them. And rotate up. Hang out. Press into that back leg. Find length. Try hollowing out your armpit a little bit by tucking the shoulder blade. 2 more breaths. Good stuff. Inhale back to Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, hands down on either side of your foot. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, start your flow or down dog. Inhale, come way up on your toes. Bend your knees, shins to the earth. One more time, child's pose before we start doing some floor work. From your child's pose, come up onto your mat and lie onto your back. From here, bring the elbows together again and put the thumbs where, on the occipital ridge, so where your nose meets. I don't even know if occipital ridge is right. I think it is. Put your forearms together, right? And do the best you can to drop your shoulders. And then from here, you're going to lift the head and then drop it. Lift the head and then drop it. So we're actually going to bend. We're going to arch the back, lift the head. Round the back, tuck the chin. Arch the back, lift the head. Squeeze the forearms together. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, squeeze the forearms, arch the back, lift the head. Oof. Neutral. Inhale, arch, lift, squeeze. Exhale, neutral. One more, lift, arch, squeeze, and neutral. Take your arms out to your sides. Woo!
Orbital ridge.
To what?
Orbital ridge.
Orbital ridge. Thank you. See, he's a genius, I'm telling you. Knees are up. We're going to go back into the twist we started with just to see what it feels like. So the knees are aligned with the hips. Shins are parallel to the floor, and you're opening the arms. Lift up ever so slightly, and then twist over to your left. Right arm's going to reach. And from here, if you want to, you can actually straighten your legs. My left arm is going to grab onto my legs, and I'm going to use that. Actually, I'm going to press my fingernails into the ground and roll away from my chest. So my right chest is trying to roll towards the ground on the left side. Press the fingernails, drop the shoulders, breathe. Couple more breaths. Occipital ridge is the back of the head, your occipits. Bend the knees. Come back to center. Ugh. Nice. Find yourself lining up again. Lift up. Rotate over. Okay, here I am. I'm going to rotate a little farther to the right, lifting my left ribs and dropping them towards the floor. If I want to, and if I had the room, I'd straighten my legs. Breathe. Reach the fingers away from you on that left hand and roll the chest in an opposing direction, getting that yummy length in the pec. And ask yourself, does it feel different than what we started with? Breathe. One more good. Inhale, lengthening. And exhale back to center. From here, knees to your chest and rock yourself up. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop, which is a beautiful chest and shoulder opener. My fingertip, I'm walking my hands back. My fingers are facing my bum, fingertips spread. And my knees are kind of under my heels, and I'm going to broaden through the collarbone. And then we're going to lift our hips. Okay? And breathe. So I'm lifting through my hips, pressing into my heels, and I'm going to try to let my head come into a neutral if I can. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Couple more breaths. Exhale, drop. Cool. Keep the arms behind you. Now I'm going to have my fingers facing the opposite direction. My hands are as wide as the mat. I'm going to walk myself a little away, right? Press into my pinky side. And pause right here. Try to broaden through the collarbone. Use your core. No slump. Nice and long. Breathe. One more good breath. Nice. Come on up. All right. From here, pardon me, I want you to lengthen the legs out in front of you, and let's get some length back in the leg and then the thigh. So inhale, we're going to find length, nice and tall. Fingertips are going to be by your side. You're just going to walk yourself forward. Keep the spine long. If you are somebody who has the length, you can grab the outside of the foot. Otherwise, hands down. Try not to round through the back, but lengthen. Sometimes what I'll do, I'll put my peace fingers together, grab onto my big toes, lift my chest, and then pull the elbows in the opposite directions. So right here, nice, easy stretch. Once again, try not to slump. Find those beautiful shoulder blades coming onto the back. Long spine, elbows out, keep it rolling. One more good breath, please. Okay, alive, one more. Now roll up, come all the way up. Take your legs, take your left leg is going to come in towards your thigh, and I'm not straight here, I'm at a little bit of an angle. So this is at my 45-degree angle. And I'm going to take you're going to take your right elbow and put it to the inside of your right thigh, Lengthen through the side body, reach the arm over and arch. If you're somebody who can reach and pull, go for it. If you're somebody who can come over and open up, go for it. But I want you to get this nice, yummy length on the right side of your body. If your arm's tired, get out of it. Wrap the right hand around the hip and just come into it. Left hand around the hip. Your left hip drops. Breathe. One more good breath. Excellent. From here, come up. Rotate the torso over your right thigh, and then take the left arm to the outside of the foot or to the shin. Lift the chest, bend at the elbow, and lengthen. So your right hand should just be hanging out. My left elbow is pulling me deeper. Breathe, breathe. Find the chest rotating towards the ground. Two more breaths. One more. Whew. Come on up. Nice. From here, we're going to switch sides. So your right foot's going to come into your left thigh. Have that nice little angle, okay? This arm is going to reach elbow in. So this leg of mine, I can't reach forward because it's not a happy leg at times. This right, your right arm is going to lift up and over and try to reach, or it can wrap around. It really doesn't matter right now. I just want you to get a little bit of length and feel some depth in there. Breathe. Couple more breaths. Two more. One more good breath. Nice. Then inhale, come up. Rotate the belly. Oscar's going to come visit. If you can see this, he's doing an awesome down dog. So rotate the ribs and then walk yourself forward. Oscar, come here. Lie down. Lie down, little boy. So this right arm is going to grab the outside of your foot, get some length, and then bend at the elbow. Breathe. Long spine. So we're going to consider this little thing a twist since we are rotating through the torso. Well, we could do another twist. Couple more breaths. One more breath, please. Inhale, come up to center. Bend the knees. Take yourself down. Arms can be by your sides. And from here, or add it to T's, please. Whichever feels best for you. And then take both knees as wide as take your feet as wide as your mat, and both knees over to your left. And pause. If this feels good to you, this left ankle comes onto your right thigh, pulling down a little longer. If this pinches you, don't do it. If this hurts your back, bring the knees together, come up a little higher or lower. But find that twist that suits you for 2 more good breaths. 1 more, please. If that leg is up, on an exhale, release the ankle. Inhale, lift both knees. Exhale, bring both legs over to that right side. Feet are still as wide as your mat. This time that right ankle is going to come on the left thigh. Drop it. Hands can go anywhere you want. And remember, if this hurts, knee off, knees together, higher, lower. Find what works. We're going to stay here for 3 more breaths. One more breath, please, guys. Good stuff. Release that ankle. Come back up. Walk your legs long and reach your fingertips overhead so that your fingers, your arms are towards the earth. And then reach opposing directions, lengthening, 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 lengthening. Hands and feet hovering over the earth. Exhale, release. Let everything relax. Inhale, reach, hands, arms, toes hovering over the earth. Exhale, release. And 1 more time. Lengthen. Release, and then come back into your Shavasana. Take a moment to scan the body before you drop into your Shavasana. And then let the whole body rest. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you. Namaste.